Okay, yeah, okie dokie.
Only-
Where do we get it?
Only 2.
Okay.
2. Did you turn it off in there, Bianca? Yeah? Okay, mate, let's go.
Right, we're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, back we go.
Is that alright?
Sorry?
Is that alright? Then we pop off quick.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up.
We'll get it.
Yeah. Hi, Jane, alright?
Hello.
I like your James Dean jacket, Phil. We're going to go out,
Hello, darling.
hustling a few
I saw
people, shall
Oliver
we?
Reed on last night. We were watching Oliver Reed.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
thought, I got a leather jacket like that.
Oh yeah, we met Oliver Reed, didn't we? We met him on the big breakfast. Yeah, he was. First thing he said, "Do you want a drink?" He goes, "Yeah." But they meant a cup of coffee. Yeah.
There they are. Doing the last job. The man went to shop, as they do. Hello. All sorted?
Yes, it was a bit busy.
I was telling Craig I had twisted my knee.
Yeah.
And he had a problem with his knee as well.
Wow.
He's weird, isn't he?
Yeah. Where are we going?
Going to the studio.
Okay. You just picked up some materials.
I've just seen it as a shortcut. Be down the motorway, wouldn't it? Never mind.
Nice bit
Oh
of
yeah,
game.
that has found a shortcut.
But
Oh no,
we
this is
rather-
going to the Cotswolds.
You stupid man. We rather arrive.
41 Southgate Street, Gloucester. I just put Winchester.
We rather arrive a little bit late than in the hospital soon.
You must have tapped it.
Oh, you got a nice pair of trousers on.
Oh, that guy? Yeah, he looked like a patchwork quilt.
We've got a scenic route for 2 more minutes longer.
Yeah, we do that, but don't race, okay? Just
I think we'll do that
enjoy
way.
the journey.
Keep speeding.
Yeah, no speeding, please. Let me see your shades.
I've taken them off now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's because the sun's gone down.
oh, okay.
Because when
You
he
don't need to
first
wear
put
it
them
because
on,
the
he said,
sun's out.
when he first put his son goes, what do you think? I said, they look great, they hide your face. He just laughed. He was only joking.
Yeah.
That's a nice stool.
Okay, here we go.
You don't have to.
Interesting character when you masturbated on a program, a live program.
Was he?
Yeah, as I say, it's an interesting
Yeah,
character.
oh, you got it filmed.
Oh,
See, it's got like a computer thing up there.
This is closed down because it's part of Fuller's. I reckon it's Fuller's on there, I'll say. Because Fuller's has been.
Green King, actually.
Almost there.
Green King. This is-
People seem to like that all extreme and drama.
Oh, they do.
and-
They don't want. They want. Yeah, they like fast talking. They like
Well, controversial people.
Controversial,
They find
extreme.
them interesting, isn't it?
short, extreme stuff. They
he's
want.
well educated by that Russell Brand.
He speaks
knows
quite
about
well,
that
actually.
thing. He
does-
used to take
he's
drugs,
surprisingly
didn't he?
well knowledgeable.
He used to. He's recovering
I
addict.
quite like him in a funny sort of way.
Back here again. Last touches today.
Did you take that one then, James? You just take that one and I'll take the tea. I don't mind. I think I'll pick it up.
Looking lovely. Oh, how lovely, Jane. Oh, what a nice decoration you have made. Wonderful.
Years old.
Oh, nice, very nice. It's warm in here eh? For the first time. It's really warm. You feel it. Oh,
Sometimes.
This isn't on crate.
No, that one is there though, so that's enough.
Is
You feel that one, it'll be on.
there he is. He's right on the job.
Yeah. I like a man on the job, don't you know?
I'll be on the job.
working at it.
Yeah. And he has his sexy jeans on, so you're all going to stare at your bum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lovely job.
Well, usually you can.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about, Phil. I'll give you that in a minute. I'll make sure it's all right. And if I spot anything that's wrong, I'll help you out and I'll point out
Yeah, right.
any faults. I've learnt all this from Jane, actually. She gives,
Right.
yeah. I'm her best pupil.
How's it going, worker?
It's good.
Yeah. Did you bring a knife?
No. What do you do? This one.
Hmm. Okay.
When you come in with all the cameras and everything, and then just for a bit of heat. It's a bit like that when we used to have those circles, didn't we? I used to,
Yeah.
some places were so bloody cold. How can you sit and meditate?
Mind you, it's
Because you get colder when you meditate because you relax.
actually I find when I meditate,
It's a
I go
technique.
upstairs in the cold bedroom.
You can fan the fire.
Yeah.
When I get warmer up there after I meditate.
Ah, but you're a creep. He warms up every room.
That's because you were in Tibet, Phil.
I must have been one of those.
It's interesting. Did you hear the story he told? Did he ever told you about you being in Tibet, Craig?
I was hypnotised once, and
No. Did Phil tell you the story about you being in Tibet?
I think so. I think we talked about it. That's what I was talking about.
Do you
we
do?
discussed it.
Look, this ears,
We're working.
ears to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, because you told me that story about you two being in Tibet.
For me? Yes.
We both died in Tibet. I died.
No, no.
and then
No, that is not the story. Phil, you tell it.
Didn't I share with you that story about that dream I had where we go down this dark valley?
I don't remember that. Really.
I think he has props in his ears.
But
I remember me and Phil talking about it.
you've got to understand that the memories are not all, how do you call it? It's like emotional landmark memories. You only
Yeah.
remember specific points.
That's right.
And you can cross them over as well sometimes from one life to another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree
But certainly I know that Craig and I, of course Craig doesn't...
It wasn't a landmark for Craig, so he doesn't remember this part.
But I remember we were in monastery, place like Tibet. I don't know. I mean, there was nothing that said in the memory I got that it's Tibet, but I would say it was Tibet because I know it was a mountainous region, and that I also know that he decided to leave the monastery, and the trouble was it was very dangerous terrain. And so he makes his journey, and I go looking for him after he's left. I found out that he left, and so I know he's gonna be in trouble, I think.
This is the story I wanted to. Bianca wouldn't let me tell you.
And, anyway, so I know he's gonna be in trouble, and I go looking for him. I'm searching for him, and I can't find him. And I know he's been eaten by the wolves. And that was the end of him. We both died outside of Tibet. I went further.
We were actually, I think, Phil, I identified that. Because I had to dream about this, and we talked about it a while back, a longer while back actually, because I was surprised you had the same thing.
It's not a
It
dream.
was a dry valley, and I think
Yeah.
it was on the edge of Tibet, and I think it was in what is
Yeah.
now Mongolia, which in those days was Tibet.
Yeah.
Because I looked it up, and Tibet used to own a large part of China, not the other way around like the Chinese say.
Yeah.
And that was in that I believe was a memory from being in a Buddhist monastery, and there was a square top like a turret to the monastery, and everybody used to walk around in a circle doing this like Vipassana meditation.
Yeah. I
And
don't
we were-
remember those kind of details.
That's the bits I remember. That's the bit, well, I only got those flashes, but I remember this valley was so cold and it was derelict and didn't have snow, but it was barren.
Yeah, and there was something further that was important, and that was that before that happened, that life, I have another memory that we knew that the Chinese were going to invade, that there was going to be an invasion. I won't say Chinese because, like I said, we knew there was danger coming, and that the knowledge had to be kept somehow. And so we decided to reincarnate outside of Tibet. And there was, we had to, and I didn't know about this until fairly recently, but according to Tibetan tradition, you need to be born inside of this boundary line in order to be reincarnated back into Tibetan society.
Oh yeah, I've not heard of that before.
We chose to be born outside, and I don't know what happened, but somehow the spirit of wanting to leave gets into you from another life, and then you act in a certain way and you fulfill the ambitions that you had made for your next life, to live outside of Tibet and to put forward the knowledge that is so important to Tibetans, the lineage knowledge. And that was part of the reason why we had to be born outside of the boundary line of Tibet.
I had a similar feeling, and I think my friend Vic Rigby was there as well, because he said to me, and I remember talking to him about being when the Mongol invasions, Genghis Khan and all that, and I got a feeling that was all set at the time of Genghis Khan, not modern day invasion of Tibet, because Genghis Khan also invaded Tibet.
Yeah.
So I think
We
we
were
were
talking
talking about the breath of the horses. There was this thing, he had this thing about the horses and how he'd been one of the Mongols.
Yeah.
And ruthless. He said, in the dream, I'm ruthless. And I can't believe that I'm this character.
You know, just didn't care. The only thing he cared about was his horses.
Yeah.
You don't know, because I think all the people we meet in life have got some connection somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Everybody.
Well, you look at
Including
those,
the good ones and the bad ones, you know.
yeah. What I find amazing is, and again, I know you don't agree with this, but what I find so amazing is the fact that a group of people, souls, are going to be born together, and they do almost the same things, only with a few variations. And the variations always seem to be about trying out something new to see how it goes if you're more successful.
I think we get loops.
Karmic sort of loops. I think people get it in this life and in between lives, where you're repeating the same behaviour over, the same as you're saying really, but we repeat the same behaviour over and over again, but slightly different.
Yeah. And that's why I'm sure that there's some things we're not meant to, we're not meant to remember some lives, because especially if it's a life that's been documented, and because if you find out about that life,
It can hold you back a bit.
yeah, because you were here to make some bad choices.
Yeah,
And those bad choices is the very fertilizer that will make you grow. So you could end up looking back at the past life and bettering that choice that you made.
Yeah, or you might be
Therefore
making
you-
decisions based on previous.
what past life stuff has nothing to do with this life.
Yeah, you sacrifice,
Might be new characters and all sorts involved in it.
yeah,
in
you
your life.
lose all that opportunity.
There's also new people come into your lives too,
Oh,
you know, new people that haven't been part of your soul group.
Who might become part of your soul group permanently.
I'm really not sure about that.
You know, I think you must do.
Yeah, there
You
must
must,
be.
you must have extra elements, otherwise the same chemistry just keep going over and over for eternity.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because of the fact as well that there's more human beings coming out.
But,
into
you
the-
know, it's very hard to ever qualify what we have or haven't been in past lives, even with all the Nadi stuff. I mean, that told me things, and I held with it, but I think it got the essence of it.
Yeah, there's some things I know that I'm certain of with my memories. Like the first thing I asked my mother when I was knowledgeable enough to ask was we alive before? And I knew I'd already known the answer really. And she said no, and then I realised that she didn't know. and but I had to find out more.
I'm definitely convinced I spent a lot of time in India because Wyatt's the big call of India all the time with me, right from the very beginning.
Well, I got a story about that as well that I remember about India. And,
Babaji.
well, funny thing about it is one of the guys that I'm talking to, you know the guy that you talk about that lived to be so old.
Babaji.
I don't know. No, you said something
Maha
like,
Avatar Babaji.
yeah. Well, that Ashan Guru Kal, we met him before. I met him before in another life, and I remember him really well because
Who's that?
Ashan Guru Kal.
I don't think I've met him, have I?
Oh, you've seen him on the net, but you probably don't take much notice of him. He's kind of highly esteemed in his own country. He lives in something or other. Kerala, yeah.
Kerala, yes.
And he got his own ashrams where he invites people from Russia mostly and from around the world to learn his system. And I met him during my time of searching for, let's call it searching for the truth. And he beat my ass, the last thing I remember him, with his martial arts stuff. And he's got a bit of a, so we got a bit of a relationship.
I've always thought.
And the reason I spoke about him was that he speaks about the very same guru meeting him. It was his guru in person that you speak about, same name.
Babaji, I think you're talking
And
about.
A lot of people sort of relate to that, though.
well,
a lot of people.
not Babaji, it wasn't Babaji. It was the guy you mentioned, only, I don't know, it's one of the funny Indian names, isn't it?
Yogananda?
No, the one you just mentioned.
Or Babaji?
The one, not Babaji.
Maha Avatar Babaji.
You wrote it
The
down.
one that was the
2,000-year-old saint.
He's really old, the fella is, and I got a memory of that anyway. I mean, going round the point, I kind of got a memory that we met somebody.
I always think actually that you and me fought in a battle together. And I
Oh,
think
yeah,
there's
yeah.
an awful, in my life, there's been an awful lot of people, though I've done karate, but never in a big way, really. But I mean, there's so many people involved with boxing and karate in my life, and I wonder, was there an army? Were we all together, you know? Because it's got obviously a fighting sort of element to it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and I'm sure there was something like that somewhere. I
Well-
believe I think that was in Rome. I think I was not so much a fighter, but more of a
A leader.
general by birth rather than by honour. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I can remember things like Vespasius, and I just know that. And there's a friend of this, and I was thinking about the friends that I knew who were into karate. Julian, he was karate. Gary, he was a boxer. You, a boxer. Darren was a boxer. Steiner up to a point was interested in it. My cousin Robert, he's a
Steiner,
karate,
the gay
black
girls.
belt karate. You know, it's, Gary, my friend Mike Brooks, karate experts. For no reason, they just happened to come into my life. You know,
Yeah.
and it makes you wonder. You know, was there some connection of fighting?
Yeah,
I
there
think
was.
we were fighting, and I think we were fighting for Rome. You think it was Greece, but I think it was for Rome. And
Yeah,
I think it was
yeah.
up by Czechoslovakia.
We came through Greece first before we
Yeah.
came through Rome.
And I think we were slaves in Greece.
Yeah. No, in Rome.
Yeah, we were slaves somewhere.
It wasn't in Greece, it was in Rome.
Yeah, I think we were made slaves.
And
We must have lost the battle. Perhaps we were fighting against the Romans.
well, let's see now. I remember an association with Sparta, Greece, and it also goes back to Sparta is like the beginning of martial arts, and I got memories of perfecting fighting systems. So if that is in Greece or Japan, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't call myself a fighter by any means, but I've just get this. I used to have such a lot of visions of battlefields and death by sword years ago when I was, young.
Well, when you think about it, if you go back in past lives and you look at what archaeology they find about past lives, and just about everyone.
Must have had a battle somewhere.
Yeah.
Having been born as a human. That is.
Yeah.
Because there's not many people here. There's not enough people to support a lot of past lives, like I said before. There's more people than possibilities of a past life.
Well, if you think that people come from the soul evolves through the animal kingdom, then you'll see that the sums work out because it's getting less.
Most people here at the moment most people here at the moment are new. I don't think they've had previous life.
And
New
on
to
top
being
of that,
human.
and on top of that, you've got a universe full of life.
Unless there's multiple dimensions.
No, but what about a
You know, like
universe full of life?
multiple lives.
A lot of people claim they come from other planets. I mean,
Yeah.
do you believe them or not? I don't know, but you should consider it.
I think it's worth considering. They say, Yogananda said, and various other people have said, whether they're right or not, just because they said it doesn't mean it's true, that you only incarnate within your own planetary sphere, not multiple planets. But then the Nadi said about other planets.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of my thoughts on that.
Trouble is you know, you can't. I only go by what I can relate to with my own memory.
Well, I'm pretty much done it.
What was it? Triglyceride in the blood, which is a fat.
Yeah.
That's what sugar kicks off. And
Well, but the wine you gave us was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
yeah.
We enjoyed
Made
it,
you
didn't
very
we?
warm, didn't it, Bianca?
Yeah.
Did you get one of those things that sucks stuff off the ground? I don't know what it's called.
Women know what that is.
No, I've never heard of it. I've seen with
Things
it.
that-
I
There's
have
sort of a thing you
no
push it on,
idea.
and it sucks things off the ground.
Gee.
Maybe the girl.
Ah, that might be it.
I was thinking about the girls in
Over
the
Hoover didn't
red
do
light
the shit,
district,
all the cooking,
really.
all- It cleans, but I think
Not a bad
Sucking
idea.
stuff from the
we
ground.
need that stuff to suck
boobs.
stuff up.
What did
No.
Damien say about boob drive?
Boobies!
Every time you go to the bunk, goes, oh, boobies, don't he?
That was fantastic, Phil.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all right.
He done that to Danielle, you know.
So
It's like,
good.
do you know he done that to Danielle? Went to the doctors. She'll never be in Spain. Lift my jumper and went like that. She said, oh, she was so embarrassed. He's innocent, you know.
So it's already
Right, sitting
now.
down time
It's
now.
nice.
It's already
Done. We're on. We're ready to film. We want to put some curtains or something.
Oh yeah. So we want.
Velvet
Right, I
ones.
reckon, shall we try some lighting, see what it looks like?
Yeah, I would.
Let's put, we can just turn, I reckon with just this light on would be an interesting way to experiment. We don't need to do anything other.
Domenico knows if Craig's moved anything, he's set in.
Well, yeah, because we don't want to move it. It's all, hang on, we better turn it on. Yeah. I think one light.
What do you want to do?
This would be the seance room, wouldn't it? This would be low
Atmosphere.
lighting like this.
Yeah, it's good.
Probably a few smaller lights as well. But I think once you sit somewhere neat set, with the shadows of the people against the wall and things,
Oh, that looks scary.
Is it looking good?
Looks like a seance.
that's without any lighting effects. Good evening and welcome to the seance room. Tonight
Yeah,
we're
that's
going to
effective.
summon the visitors from the other side.
Hey,
Your loved
Bianca.
ones. Sorry?
Oh no, you've got the cameras here.
And we'll all be round.
From this distance,
Looks good.
looks good. But then,
It's got the right atmosphere.
yeah.
And we'll get maybe Victoria's picture could go in this one or something. Put a picture in it or something.
Do you need a curtain rail stuck up
That would look good.
to put those curtains on to
We
cover the
might not-
corners?
We might.
Are you going to put the curtains
not
up
need
then?
Well, they only need to be sort of those clamps. You can just clamp it to the top of that and let it fall down. Just,
All right, okay.
just clamps would be all right, I think.
But I was thinking another point about if you did do that. Not that I'm trying to talk you into it, but I was just thinking that it's an opportunity to change
The
the look.
background.
Aye.
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
But as a set builder, you can
It's a good
make
thought,
suggestions.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So you could just sort of push it back, the curtains back and open them in the corner, or pull it across and we've got a different background.
Yeah,
That's a good idea. That's a
Why
good
not?
idea.
Why not turn the candles on for a minute?
Turn the candles.
I don't know if they've got the batteries in them.
Yeah.
I think the batteries.
Did you take them out?
We take them out each time, yeah, I think. No, I'm wrong.
Let's help you, Dave.
We're going to use real candles on the set.
All
though.
batteries.
This one's not doing it.
No, one has no battery. If you didn't have enough batteries the last time.
Yeah, it's been left on this one.
Yeah. They look pretty spooky already, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a camera looking
If
through
you
the
sit there
candles,
too,
that's
Phil.
lovely. We could set one candle up through the
Yeah,
cameras. Through there, one camera on the ceiling, so we got the seance table, and then cameras on each person sat around the table.
Why not clean the table and put that there and then
What
see how it looks like? Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Come on, put the boots across that ceiling. You can hear them sometimes. That don't even sound like tapping.
Anybody there?
Well, go away.
Mm.
Don't
I
do
think something's taking me over.
that. Yeah.
Phil, you a little bit more this way still? Yeah, stop, yeah.
Yeah, I can feel the spirit going across the Phil. Can you feel them?
And I can feel one have to clip you around the ear.
I'm sending the spirit to you.
I'm going into a trance, I think.
We've had that before, haven't we, when we've done readings? We've had
Yeah.
people say, I think I'm going to drop into trance. Oh God, here they go.
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, we used to have that in Gosport too.
Yeah,
It's happening
there always be
in circles.
someone that can
Oh,
do
God.
trance but can't do anything else, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always famous people like Elvis
Winston
Presley.
Churchill, we've had.
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
Winston Churchill.
And I mean, you can't
Freddie
prove that.
Mercury,
So we had Freddie Mercury, didn't we?
Louis
Yeah.
Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah. And you can't prove
Trance,
it, can you?
Louis
Because
Armstrong.
everybody knows Elvis.
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
knows
yeah.
Elvis
So
Presley.
and they all go, welcome, don't they?
Yeah.
Welcome, brother.
Yeah, that's crap media. shit,
Yeah,
that
it is.
really.
Well, it's just people
But
pretending.
yet people like to watch
Yeah.
it. If you
Oh,
look
people love it. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
But we're not going to fall to that depth.
Yeah,
We're going to do real stuff.
science. Needs to
Yeah.
be scientific.
And Michael Jackson come through and dance
Michael
with
Jackson's
somebody
another
there.
one they
And
do.
she was going around the room like that.
Aye, Michael Jackson, for Christ's sake.
And Princess Diana.
I was just going to say that, Princess Diana.
Well, we did Princess Diana, but it was people that knew Princess Diana.
Yeah, I know, but you were asking.
You've got to have people around the table
That
who
actually
knows the person in the spirit.
Yeah.
So you have to have someone really.
And
you
he
can't-
did.
Louis Armstrong, you'd have to have someone that knew Louis Armstrong. Or John Lennon, you'd have to know. you
Yeah.
know.
Because only they can verify it. That
Yeah, that's you've got to have
personal stuff,
verification.
innit? You know, they say something personal to each other, don't they? Or they
Yeah.
know personal
Yes,
things.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Everybody knows about those people, otherwise, you know, there's no point.
It's got to
Doesn't prove nothing, do it?
No, that's right. And the problem is they all run off on this.
Yeah.
Doris Cannon, what's that one? Dolores Cannon talks and talks
The
through
angels,
trance,
angels.
but there's no proof.
No.
You know,
No.
and everybody loves it. They love it because it's full of Atlantis and
Yeah.
Loch Ness monsters and
Yeah,
everything. But you know, you've got to prove it somehow.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then when you get real stuff where people
There is
really
some-
do
there
prove
is-
it, no
there
one
is
wants to
something
know.
in this room now as we're talking.
There is actually
I can feel it.
at night, when maybe it's getting dark now, but at night sometimes we have heard footsteps walking across the ceiling, and there's nobody up there. There
Oh,
is
that would-
sometimes in the daytime, but when it's all closed up and locked up, we've had people walk across.
It sounds
table.
it's like to be in the servants' quarters.
Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah.
How old is this building then? Really
18,
old?
18.
1885, I think
Is
it
Something
was.
like
Oh,
that,
that's
yeah.
really-
Yeah.
I think a lot of people
And
don't
you can
think-
hear some walking on the ceiling, because me and Domenico, and it's like hobnail boots. And we went to record it and it stopped.
I think Domenico was a little bit freaked out by it, wouldn't he?
And the door
Because-
opened
because
on
he
its
was,
own.
yeah. Because it happens just as you're
He's
leaving
never,
sometimes.
he's never been involved in anything like that. Then.
Yeah, he's got interested in it. But
And
we're thinking of
Winchester.
putting a camera in here, leave a
Ah.
permanent camera, filming all the time to
Yeah.
see if anything
Like a
happens.
Big Brother one.
Yeah, sort of one for the patrons to look
He's
at.
not
You've
really
just
bothered
got
by
a-
it.
That's
is he?
really nice.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'd have a camera in here and just have it permanently in here.
So catch
I
some
mean, I'd put
image.
the Ouija board on there. We got that
No,
Ouija
you
board.
don't need Ouija boards.
Domenico
You
won't allow it in the room because
No,
Danielle
but-
had so many problems with
No,
it.
you don't need that.
I think it's all right for a bit
No,
of fun.
no, it's not
Good to
about
have a, on a
fun.
camera on it.
It's
A
not
camera,
about-
camera view of it.
But for you and Jane, you are very powerful psychics. You shouldn't do.
Oh, we don't need things like
No.
that.
No.
We don't
No,
need
but
that.
Well,
I mean-
I
For
thought
the
it was
general public,
fascinating
find it
when
interesting.
we done a circle with Craig once, and we done something we don't normally do, and it was table
Table tilting.
Yeah.
tilting, table tilting.
Did it rise?
I've never done it before, never done it since either, but I thought, you know, we all had our hands on top of
Put
it
your
like
hands
this.
on top and see if you can.
It bounced, didn't it?
Yeah.
It
It
the
didn't
table,
bounce.
It was just
It was
smaller than this. It was.
Yeah, I got a good better memory.
And we only had
because,
fingers.
because that table, to start with, right, it was just, you know, we were there, like, and we
Yeah.
were all doing it, like, I
Yeah.
think like that somehow. I can't remember how we held ourselves. And I know we all had the hands on the table very lightly.
Mm.
And then the table, you know, it took a while for it, and then it started moving.
I think we did it with only one finger each.
Was it something like that?
Because I didn't want
Yeah,
anybody
that's
to
right,
be
it
able to
was.
push it.
It
It
was
was just
one
one
finger.
finger each
Yeah,
on the
very
table.
lightly, and I thought, you
So
know,
there was no
because I
way it
thought,
could be moved.
Do you
Yeah.
think it might have been your energy from your bodies?
Yeah, it was something like
well,
that.
I tell you something, that's what I'm going to tell you now, like, you know, what I remember about it, because I kind of challenge everything,
Yeah,
like, you know,
that's
with
good.
every question I can
That's
think
good.
of. And I thought, well, nobody can be moving this, it's not possible, right? And so, yeah, you're right, we had one finger
each.
on the table like this, and it started moving, and it kind of was a bit sort of, you know, not too sure of itself. And then he started, he said, okay, then we need to build the energy up, right? And I didn't have much confidence in what he said, Indian shit, I thought. He said,
Yeah.
and I hate, you know, I hate people who follow the, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
like
right,
the
yeah, well,
sheep,
that's
I
fine.
and
know.
that, but I hate it because I heard so many people
Yeah.
speak so much shit about
Yeah.
turning wheels of energy inside their
Yeah.
chakras
Oh,
and all
yeah,
that stuff, and I think, yeah, what? How do I relate to that? You know, in reality, like, you know, where is that? And you just can't make head or tail of it. And so I thought, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Oops, I mean,
Didn't
and that's
do
all I
amen
thought,
at
oh
least.
yeah, let's do then. And so I got and the table started moving. But do you know what it started doing more of?
No.
It was like it was coming at me, attacking me.
Gosh.
I wouldn't say attacking, but it was
Jumping up,
really
wasn't it?
coming strong at
To
me.
prove to you.
Yeah, and I think that whoever was listening in on our telegraph cable up there, they heard what I was saying, and
It had
they,
an absolute life of its own,
yeah,
didn't it?
it took a life of
We
its
answered
own.
questions to tap letters out and things too, didn't we?
I can't remember that, but there was yes and no answers.
Yeah,
I
we were
think.
doing yes and no's, 2 taps yes, 1 tap no, or something.
Yeah,
we
something
were
like
doing.
that. Yeah, you're right.
And then
Memory's
was
not
the,
that
it was
bad.
the Ouija board that we had those strange messages, because we did that too.
No, but the moving
Yeah.
table, you was
But the
using
table
something
was-
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was. We had some pretty weird stuff happen in those circles.
yeah.
I remember when Auntie Marion was with us too, that we used to get something walk through the room, and you could hear it come in from one side, it'd walk right across, come to the table, shake, and walk across again. I mean, it was like a real person was in the room walking around. We did that in pitch black, not
Yeah.
even with the light on, pitch black.
Yeah.
It was a bit weird.
You can do things with a red light or a blue light actually.
Yeah,
to
well, we've had
attract
red and
spirit.
blue before.
No,
we could use that as a
separately.
red
You
light.
don't mix the two together.
Blue light usually for healing, isn't it?
Well,
and
you
red
can,
light for
because
seances.
the biggest circle I've been in with 50 people, Lily Ryder, who owned
50 people.
Yeah, she had Swathling.
5-0.
Yeah,
Wow.
Swathling Spiritualist Church, and in those days they used to have a tambourine in the middle, so the tambourine used to shake, and then she would sing a hymn, welcome it, and suddenly a girl came in the circle, and this woman set in the circle, let out the piercing scream, broke the circle, and the poor medium was in utter pain in the solar plexus there.
Yeah,
She
well,
got
that's the problem
frightened.
is you've got people in it.
Got
That's why you can't have. You can only have people in it that's. You know, that's
Open-minded.
quite. Maybe we should do like the traditional spiritualists used to do. Do you think a bell and a tambourine?
We
and
had
things
a
that can make
tambourine and a
noise?
bell, and they used to have hymns
I was a
to
bit worried
to
about that
rise
type of
the
thing, in case-
vibration. No, the
Do we
bell
really
you'd
need
go.
it?
The bell would
Yeah.
go on its own.
This is a good table.
Yeah.
I think it's going to work, and I think if we get the right people around again,
Yeah.
and we just do our meditations, and we do a bit like we did. We could do the table tilt, but we couldn't total this
I don't
No,
think
no.
this
because the
would
table's in
rise.
2 halves. It'll
A
fall to
smaller
bits.
one like that you need.
We need little. I had a tall. That was a,
No, that's small table.
yeah, it was a small one, a bit like that Chinese table we had at
Yeah.
home. Little
Yeah.
ones.
You'd have to
tables.
move it over the
Yeah,
there.
you just have to, you've got to
Yeah.
get the end, but you've got to build the energy of the circle up again. That's why I think if we do a regular, we'd want to do a regular one like we did perhaps with the original members of the circle.
Yeah,
We might be able to get the energy back again.
possible.
We were invited into a circle.
Who?
You and I.
Oh yeah, recently actually. Funny people this time of year they get. they wanna-
Cindy.
Now Cindy's gone on to run their own circle. They were
No,
very
what
nice.
did you say? What, sorry.
No, a lady called Alexander.
All
Yeah.
right.
Alexandra. She's a friend of Krista Lou.
Yeah.
She's into all the circle and magic and.
Well, we can bring people. I always thought the girls that helped us with the microphones and that, they were interested in all that type of
Yeah,
Well,
thing.
she would come.
And
yeah.
she would come along.
Yeah,
Heather.
she would come.
Heather,
Heather's
she's
lovely.
lovely.
She would come,
And
yeah.
she's lovely, and she's very sincere,
Yeah.
and she's
So
got
she
good
can't
energy.
always come
She's
because
she's looking
got
after her foster
Heather
children.
Oliver.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Ah,
She's
she's
looking
so
after
nice.
foster children, but she's fantastic.
And a friend.
Well, we can have a few people that can come. We'll have the mains core, and we can have some others.
People like you used to have.
Christine's nice.
You can have a core
got good
and then
energy.
guests.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Guest people, and we can even have a guest come to visit the circle too.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we used to do before, isn't it?
Mm. Yeah, we'll have a guest.
I used to select the guests.
Yeah.
I started getting pretty good at that.
Because that's what I did. It's no good giving each other readings. We would do the readings with each other and practice, develop them. And once people got to know each other, we can't do any more. So we'd have a guest in each week. And that guest
Have you
week
ever
would have a
done-
real one hell of a reading, wouldn't we? Because
in
all
the-
of us would tune in for it.
In the loft, I got ribbons of different colours, and Coral Polge gave me these. And what you used to do, get the person to pick out the colour ribbons, and you can explain exactly like light purple and even lighter in that. Spiritual people, pink, pick it out.
I think some nights it'd be good if you just did a circle, and some nights
Oh,
I'd just do
I
my
Yeah,
didn't
circle
circle.
over, yeah.
And then we can also, I can run the cameras while you're doing your circle, and if you wanted to do things that which would be completely different style to what I do,
Yeah.
I think that would be useful for people, because we would come at it in different ways with
No, I don't-
teaching.
It'd be good to try, you could do it in this building, physical phenomena.
Yeah, it might happen. The thing is, once you get the energy building, you can do all sorts.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons it's important to have a place like this.
Right.
Because if we were to pack up, go home, pack up, go home, the
Yeah.
energy's lost every time.
Yeah.
That's got
But
energy.
already the energy's building fantastic here,
Yeah.
really. You can
I
feel it
remember
already.
that when I used to pick people, I started realising I was starting to pick up, a person that would be good in a circle, because some people, they come in a
some
circle
people are
and
hopeless.
they do not think they need to answer yes or no, that you should know,
Yeah.
and those kind of people, close-minded.
Or the
Yes.
ones that fall asleep when
Yeah,
you're doing the
yeah.
meditation, they haven't got the discipline to stay awake.
That needs
Yeah.
sleep,
I mean,
don't
that
it?
used to really annoy me.
Right.
Or those that suddenly know better than everybody else, and all they give you is a load of guide nonsense. We
Yeah.
had that as well, didn't we?
Mind you,
Oh,
with that
they
sleep,
spoil it.
there is something about that sleep though that you should look into further, because there is an area in sleep where if you fall into sleep,
Oh, yeah, not
you allow
saying-
yourself to go with the
I did,
tiredness,
yeah.
and then you drop into deep relaxation.
Oh, yeah,
but you
that's totally
stay
different. Agree with that. Yeah.
inwardly alert. Then you
Yeah,
can guide into
Hypnagogic dreaming
that kind of
and
area.
hypnopopic
it is.
dreaming. Those areas are very. That's something to experiment in. But if
Yeah.
a person is too weak, they're not going to stay in that state
But
or
if
any
you
state.
speak to that
They just
person-
want to be relaxed. They sit and relax, take all the energy of the circle, and go home.
Yeah,
They're not working.
yeah. But if you got people,
Oh, that looks good.
Oh, I can feel the heat.
The light in your face.
yeah, but if you've got people who, let's say they're tired, right, and you want to do an experiment, and allow them, because you need people who can drop into that kind of relaxation really easily, and then it's possible, I think, that maybe they can go into what do you call that, mediumship?
Trance
Trance.
mediumship. I don't encourage
And
too much trance mediumship
transfiguration.
with people though, because
Transfiguration, when another spirit
Yeah,
comes
it's
to
very
their
real,
face.
isn't it, Jane? I
You know,
saw it, mate.
I've seen it on
yeah,
Sharavana.
well, it
It's
happened in
true.
my
Yeah.
circle too.
But I didn't see it in the way they show it on TV. I saw it like, we had to do a meditation first, and I was that not trance state, that state you get after meditation where you're like
Yeah.
that. And so you look with meditation eyes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The difference
you're
between-
open.
And then you come back, and then you go back into meditation.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you come back. And each time I done that, it was, what was her name down at Gospel Spiritualist Circle?
Oh, I know who you mean.
Monica?
Monica, that's right.
Yeah.
Monica, right, and because she used to act as the main medium, and
Yes,
someone
control.
else used to lead
Yeah.
and they used to use her as, I come out of the meditation and I look at her and I thought, wow, it's a spirit face, only not a strong, like solid face, only a spirit face, and then I go, and she was like, with talking. The spirit face was talking like this, moving the mouth a lot. And then I come back out, and it was Monica again, and then I go back in, and it was doing the same thing again. And I found that
that's
really
interesting.
fascinating.
I mean, Lee Everett used to do it, Kenny Everett's wife. We used to go, we watched her a few times, and if you can see, sometimes I think people think they see, because we've seen people put a strong light, this is like, sets your face, makes it look different, doesn't it? But they put a strong light below and then move their face a bit, and you think you can see faces in it. That was more of a trick of the light. But normally it's normal light actually, or just low light. You do get some really fascinating stuff. Transfiguration, it's called.
Have you ever seen that, Jane?
Yes, I have.
And,
I saw it on Sharavana, his face, and it's a crowded room, lights on, and I saw Swami's face go to Sai
Baba, me
Baba's.
too.
Is it a solid face?
Yeah, it was. It was only last a few sort of seconds, and then it just went back to normal. And it's in a bright room.
Just as we were leaving, I looked round it and I suddenly saw Sai Baba as clear as day. And you saw the same. That was the one we went with Damien. That's when I saw it.
No, I saw it in the hall. There was about 100 people there, and I sat in the
saw
middle. I
Damien.
looked at him, he smiled sweetly, and his face changed, and I looked like that. Wasn't afraid or anything. I thought, gosh, look, there's Sai Baba's face, and it just went like that.
I saw it just as we were, when we went with Damien, he did all that snake business and everything. As we went out the door, we were just going out, and just turned around like that, and he was still sat there, and he looked at me, and it was just Sai Baba sat there, clear as day, and he was totally different to him, hair and everything.
Yeah, was that the strongest?
That was more like a flash of seeing something different. It wasn't like spiritualist transfiguration where we were talking about ectoplasm going over a face. It was
an ectoplasm.
No, it wasn't ectoplasmic. It was like you suddenly in another world, you've seen someone completely different. It's a bit like when I saw my uncle at a funeral, at his own funeral. I looked round, it was like where the chairs are over there where we sit, Uncle Gordon. We went to his funeral and he was sat in the chair, solid as day. And I looked again and he's gone.
No, mine was in bright daylight, and his face just changed, like it's like a mask going down like that. Just smiled, and I looked because I've.
Was it ectoplasm?
No, one ectoplasm. No,
because you saw that personally, everybody else in the room wouldn't have seen that. And I think that is more like you see a glimpse of something, perhaps another reality of it. It's a different thing to
I have seen
Transfiguration.
ectoplasm, and it's got a snotty smell. It comes out of the solar plexus and it builds up. It's like wisp of smoke, if you like, and then it just goes over the face, and then you see a form of someone's face. It looks like a wax face or something like that, and then it just went.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
The reason I'm interested is because I remember my mother, she does not believe in ghosts. She does not believe in anything like that. And when my dad died, she said he turned up in the bedroom and he was solid.
Yeah.
Solid. You know, you could
That's it. You don't see a spooky see-through figure.
No,
you see it as real as you sat there.
But I've seen ghosts myself, like, and I've never seen a solid object, you know, that you can actually. Makes you wonder about the stories of Jesus.
It can be arranged.
But it is a bit like that, isn't it? It's not like it's not like the telly and the movies make it. It's nothing like that. It's just like completely ordinary.
I saw my stepfather's spirit leave his body. It was the most beautiful, incredible thing I saw, and it came the outline of his body, and it had like a green fluorescent light, some bright light. And because everyone was crying like this, it was just like, and
that was at the time he died.
Yeah, and it came out his body and it went slowly up like that to the ceiling. And my first thoughts was, now tell me there isn't a God. That's what I was thinking. How blessed am I to see that? Because beforehand, I was asking Spirit World, I'd like to see psychic phenomena, please. And they had moved him in a side room, didn't they?
Yeah.
In a side room, they had a very dim light like this. And that, and because everybody, my mother, he had an oxygen mask on. My mother thought he was still breathing. It was the oxygen mask and that. And he just went so peacefully, because beforehand he turned over to my mum and said, I hope I've been a good husband to you, Joan.
Oh.
And then he just went, and I know it sounds a bit boring, but I whispered in his ear, and I said, let go, it's right, I look after mother, don't worry. And I said the Lord's Prayer and he went.
And you do look after the two, don't you, Jane?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
real nice to
yeah,
your mum.
I've got
Nice
to.
story.
Yeah, it is a nice story.
Nice
yeah.
story.
It's true,
Yeah.
you were there,
Oh.
Craig.
Yeah, but I wasn't there when you witnessed that.
No.
You kept your
Oh,
word,
no, you
Jane.
weren't,
No,
were
I
you?
wasn't. No,
You
because I
were
had to
at
go
home.
back. I had
Yeah,
to go
that's-
back home
No,
because he asked after me, and I wasn't able to
he
be
asked,
with him.
he asked for all his grandchildren. He was asking for Danielle beforehand.
Mm.
Is Craig here? He said. I said no. Is Danielle? And he said, like a mantra, I love Danielle. I love it. He went all through his grandchildren, telling
Yeah.
me he loved them.
Yeah, nice thought.
Yeah.
He was a good man.
Yeah, he
Gave
was
a lot
good
to
man.
charity.
Oh yeah, he didn't want to be recognised. He'd give money. He wasn't a wealthy man, but
Yeah.
he'd give £50 every Christmas, save the children.
We only
But
found out afterwards how much he'd been given to charity.
Yeah.
When you look at his bank accounts and things.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
man. Anyway, that was good. It's a great setting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It gets
well-
you talking.
Yeah.
It's, I think
Natural.
that, you know, it'd be interesting to work on some of that stuff we've been just talking about. you
Yeah,
know.
well, let's set it all
Yeah.
up. Let's set it all up. We got it now. And thanks to you, Phil.
Thanks, yeah.
Badly done stuff.
Well, we went in a,
we
we went
could
in
have
a
had it in the background. Yeah.
we went in a butcher's shop Saturday and I couldn't bear the smell of it. It smelled awful, like meat. And I think it suddenly occurs to you, animals, dead animals and that.
It's
you
the
know?
smell of blood as well,
Yeah, it was
isn't it?
awful. We had to come out.
Taxidermist.
Yeah,
I think
sort
in the
of
background,
Even.
big bell jar with, and never mention what's in it, and it's just in the background, dark, and there'd be things like dolls' heads or parts of animals,
Dead babies.
Oh,
weird stuff,
Yeah, dead
weird
babies.
things, and they can't quite make it out. Can't quite make it out. It's in the shadows,
Yeah.
and there's something in
a
there.
silicone boob, Craig.
Yeah.
You think, what the hell's that?
Yeah, you know what I mean. They're all pushed up against the side, you know.
Real boob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heads, you know, severed heads. You know,
Not
shrunken
severed
heads,
heads.
That's a
shrunken
good
heads.
idea.
Something
Oh.
weird, something like they'd have in Victorian
Severe heads, I like.
in a freak show or a fairground or something.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
these curiosities of
Yeah.
these.
I know.
I'd have something in there, you know, and there's always something, and maybe we could have a few of them even in time, but at least one.
Yeah.
And
That's a
it's
good
just
idea.
there in the shadows, and we never mention it. We never comment
Yeah, that's a
on
good
what the
idea.
hell's going on there.
Curiosities.
Yeah.
Curiosities, yeah.
Domenico's got a site curiosities, hasn't he, Craig?
Yeah, well, yeah, he has. He does
He does good
curiosities,
things.
but I mean, good set for doing just stuff about curiosities as well.
Mm.
Actually, make good,
Yeah,
that'll make
he's
good little
very good
programs
at
in
doing
themselves.
That, looked at that when you've done your
Yeah.
thing. And if you look at it, it actually looks like there is a face on there.
That's what we liked about it.
We
Yeah.
got that an
We
hour
saw
You'll
it
see it when you
in
look-
Arundel. We thought
Yeah.
that'd be great for the room. It's
I
quite
think you
good.
want
I
to be in
think it's quite good.
Victoria, really.
If we can get that Victoria one, if the person
Bianca, somebody said they
does
wanted to do all
respond, then I can get
paintings
the
of us,
picture.
and I
He's
said,
not
Craig,
responded even
what's
now.
her art like? It might be doing like scribble or things, wasn't she, that woman? She never
Yeah.
did see her paintings, did we?
Yeah, I'm going to send him another one.
Are you going to send?
Thank you, Jake.
I'll be a minute. I've got to
Yeah. Be careful down these stairs. No, don't.
A day's hard work.
Hard day's night.
Lots.
Just all the detailing as well.
Yes, I like this. I love the ceiling. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
So
Michael's got a beautiful room. They've got a lovely model fireplace.
it's built around 1830s,
Yeah,
they think, isn't it?
yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. You just don't find that in modern houses unless people copy it.
I like the doors.
I don't know what's going on out there, but the sky's gone purple.
There is a church behind there that has purple lights.
It's completely purple. It's weirdly
Yeah, it's a church there.
Is
That,
it? Oh, right.
and it is misty,
Yeah,
foggy.
sort of the whole sky is sort of like this purple. So perhaps we're going into another reality.
You need to do it, Jim?
You have to do the two together.
Do you?
It's there.
Oh, that's easy.
Thank you, Phil.
Big having glasses.
I better come out before I lock myself in.
Snowfalls on the London Weather Centre.
They said that we could have snow with Christmas.
One of the newspapers put it on their cover, yeah. Like
It feels cold enough for snow now, doesn't
Yes, yeah.
Definitely cold now.
it? Yeah.
It's lovely though, is it? It belongs with Christmas cold, isn't it? We are so
Charles
used
Dickens
to it.
Christmas.
It's Charles Dickens, yeah. Oh, I can't really see you. Yeah, a little bit, yay.
Hypnagogic state.
Yeah, it does though, it does. If
Yeah.
you do that. Because your body's so deep, your mind's so clear, you're so relaxed, and you just see the thought.
Yeah. It's a struggle between falling into the sleep.
Yeah,
know,
but
going
that's
with the
another one
body
where
and
you
fall-
mustn't let yourself
Yeah.
fall into the sleep.
Going with the body because the body wants to sleep, wants you to sleep.
Yeah.
Or staying with the awareness, alert.
It's all right if you do it on a hard floor, I think. If you, like on a yoga mat, it's easier because you're less inclined to want to drop off to sleep. If you drop off to sleep, you've lost it. You've had a deep sleep, but you've lost the spiritual power of the Decor.
Yeah.
But it's still all right if a person falls asleep because it's still good for you. Isn't it? It's
Yeah.
seeding the power.
It's a powerful area if you can manipulate it.
It is. It is. I should do it. I should practice it more often. Actually, I want to get back into my yoga properly. That bloody flu and everything stops me. I want to start as soon as possible.
You don't think you had that COVID, do you, Craig?
I don't think so. No. I had a COVID test. I had a
Did you?
test just in case. Yeah.
Stayed on your chest a long time though,
Yeah,
didn't
it
it?
did. Yeah. Danielle had a COVID flow test thing. Because I thought to myself it could have been.
You might have had it when you come back from India.
Might have had it when we came back from India, but I don't think it was prevalent enough then to have got it. It only just got the first cases in India.
You were bad. You were so
I was on
tired.
aeroplanes. I was exhausted in India. I just was so tired.
So go to bed,
think
you
I
slept
never-
14 hours.
I never got time to catch up with them sleeping. The bed was so hard. It was like they said
You were
it
living on rice,
I was
weren't you?
like sleeping on
Were
a
you living
slab
on
of
rice?
marble.
Was you?
Living on rice.
I was living on rice, nothing except this rice dish, and
And
things.
what's he do when he arrives in England? He goes straight and has a burger.
And where I'd done such, and I took those powdered soups with me. Where I'd been living on such bland food, when I ate those powdered soups so full of many additives, it made me want to heave. So I had to keep with the rice.
Aye.
So I think I had no iron in my body. I had no
You were
nutrients.
so tired.
And it
Yeah.
was that flight where we got stuck on the airport, and they called down on the flight. We had nowhere to sleep, so we were stuck.
Wow.
And fortunately we got into this place. This guy, multi-millionaire, took us into his house.
When was it that volcano went up when he went somewhere? Was that
That's
India?
when we went to. That's when we went to the Seychelles.
All right. That was you and Jane, was it?
Yeah.
I remember.
And another one when you was for the radio station in Iceland.
Yeah, that was an amazing thing too. Going there. was a bleak place at the time I went. It felt like you were in the, you were felt like the hydrogen sulfide. Everything stinks of sulfur. You have a shower and you come out stinking of sulfur because it's in everything. It's like stink bomb liquid.
Is that drinkable?
Yeah.
That?
They don't
Yes, it is. They'll drink it. Yeah.
they don't smell it anymore because you become smell blind or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, when I first got there, it was awful smell. I turned the shower and I thought everything was rotten, and of course it's not. It was that way.
I'm fascinated by Iceland myself.
Iceland is a fascinating country. I mean, the snow wasn't out, it was barren, and it looked like something out of Mad Max sort of end of world sort of look to it. And all brown, dead earth it was. And then they took me up to the waterfalls, which are fascinating because the waterfalls are all frozen, these huge solid waterfalls, which was interesting. And trying to stand up on the ice, they just scoot across the ice as if it's not there. I'm on all fours half the time. And we went and looked at the geysers, and they took me to the Blue Lagoon too, where you get into this big volcano, sort of hot heated water.
They have lots of myths as well.
Yeah, they don't half believe them too.
Yeah.
And when we went coming back, and we kept on about the elves that looked after us at this corner, all right, every time, and we were kind of joking about it, about this elf. And then on the way to the airport, I suddenly remembered that I hadn't had. I suddenly saw, I was stood here, it was empty, not a soul anywhere. Suddenly stood right by the side of the car, I saw this weird figure, I didn't know what the hell he was, and he pointed at me and pointed back to the hotel, and I thought, what? And it's like at a moment's notice, and I thought, I've forgotten my suits, I've left my suits all in the wardrobe, I came out too quick. So it sent the taxi, we went back in the taxi and got what was missing, my pinstripe suit and everything.
And you saw the figure that told you to do
figure
that?
pointed back to, on that very spot that would say about the gnome. It was like a corner of your eye thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, it wasn't like seeing it like on a movie. It was like, well, what's that? And it was like a weird figure, and he was sort of like a weird face to him and things like that. Big nose and jowls. It was just like a corner of your eye type of thing. You know, it's like a flash, and you saw it, and he put his hand up and pointed. I even said to the taxi driver, "What the hell's that?" He looked, there was nothing, he didn't see anything. Yeah, it was really strange.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Oh God, I've forgotten my suit." And that elf that looks after us, you know, pointed where to go.
Super interesting.
Yeah. And they believe in them all for the valleys and everything like that, you know. Yeah, it was a fascinating experience. It's a weird, strange place, that Iceland.
Seems to be lots of pubs closed down, don't
Yes.
And they were lovely people. And of course, I went on Icelandic television, and Iceland's only got the same population as Southampton. So once you've been on television, every single person from Iceland knew me because they all watch the same channel.
And they all
Oh, hello,
recognize you.
Craig.
Yeah. Nice.
But everybody knew everybody else there anyway. Everybody knew everybody.
Yeah, incestuous.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of ginger hair there too,
Yeah,
because
crossbreeding.
the Vikings, the Danes went to Iceland. All the men went there, so to get the women, they would raid Ireland and take all the that's where the ginger hair from Ireland and Scotland came.
Aye.
So they would raid those coasts to. So you see lots of people with blonde hair and lots of people with bright ginger hair.
Yeah, do you know where that comes from, the blonde and white skin?
And what?
Blonde hair and white skin. Comes from Neanderthal.
Yeah, from the early, possibly it is
Because the African came up and they couldn't survive with the lack of sunlight.
yeah,
So when they intermingled with Neanderthals, they produced offspring that could carry the genes of
so they
the
reckon that's the
African.
dominant Neanderthal gene,
Yeah.
the blonde hair.
That's why we all got Neanderthal genes in us now.
So is that proven? Or is that a theory? Because They
So
can't
when-
prove it, can
They have done DNA tests, didn't they, Phil?
Have they?
They have proven
Have they
it
been
through
able to isolate
DNA.
what
Yeah, they're
Neanderthal
proving it through
genes are?
DNA.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's real fascinating, that sort of thing. Because they thought originally we killed off all the Neanderthals, didn't they? Thought
Yeah.
we wiped them out, but now they know the interbred.
Oh, the old story, the old historical story is changing rapidly now with DNA
Yes.
findings, genetic, understanding.
And people who always claimed this and claimed that, they all have to eat their words now.
Yeah, because it was always sort of made up and based upon, like we were saying at the beginning, about beliefs that you try to reinforce.
The Denisovians are an interesting bunch too.
These are the ones who went to India, aren't they?
Pardon?
The Denisonians and the Aryans went through India, and they pushed the
China.
Denisonians, I think it's called. They pushed the Indian people back down to southern India, and there's two types of people in India they talk about. The southern Indians and the northern Indians are poles apart in there. Believe themselves to be completely different races.
The story I heard about them, they're not really sure exactly how they look. They only found a tooth.
Oh well, they reckon
Yeah.
the southern Indians are the Devastonians.
Well,
People in
I'm not
southern
sure.
India.
I never heard that.
And they claim to be the original race because they were the Aryans pushed in from the north, and the Denisonians, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Denisovian.
Denisonians were the southern Indians, and they claim to be the people that lived in Kumari Kandam, the great continent that existed hundreds of thousands of years ago, south of India. This is, Lemuria and all that business.
It'd be interesting. This one.
Oh, stop, yeah.
It's all right.
It'd be interesting to find out what more they find out about those
Yeah, I'd like to know.
Denisovians,
I
because
haven't found anything
they seem
to
to
read about
think
it.
as well that they were really big people,
Oh right, yeah. there's
and
lots about
it
that, isn't there?
could be some answer to the.
You've got a lot of interesting ideas, Phil, things you've read and watched.
Well, we are here, so let us thank you for a lovely day.
Well, thank you for all what you've done again. I mean, Phil's been working hard, and we've been hard work supervising him.